I spent some time thinking about the title, but it is what it is. So I'm building a data center in my garage actually, and part of the project is recording surveillance footages. So is here to a custom built NAS network attached storage. There are many ways to set up security cameras, but I prefer wired connections. And if we are talking about wires, then it is PoE, Power over Ethernet. It has to be a PoE, at least in my opinion. And what are the two key components of a reliable PoE surveillance system? Well, if it freezes, reboot it. If the power goes out, switch to backup and at least get notified that the power is off. So I will show you how I solve these problems. Maybe you will find it useful, and if you do, I would appreciate a like and a subscription. Let's start with the second point, backup power. A proper PoE system runs on 48 volts, yeah? So, if you don't agree, let me know in comments. If your project is solar powered, as I plan to do here in the future, then you probably use lithium batteries, and so they are 48 volts. This means you can switch between a 48 volts and between AC-DC adapter. So that's one of the options. Maybe I will use it in the future, as I told, but I'm keeping it simple with the UPS, yeah, uninterruptible power supply. This solution avoids major power conversion losses since we are staying with 48 volts. Well, you don't lose much, yeah, on conversion back and so I won't dive into debates about power setup. AC/DC and UPS. That's what I'm using. AC/DC adapter is actually it is built in. Let's go on this switch soon. So I've solved the backup power with UPS, but we will come back to this with more details later. And now, how do we get notifications when the power goes out and UPS kicks in? I use iSocket. It's a well-known solution for power outage notifications. You can see I have 3 iSockets. I will explain them all soon. At the same time, this solves the first problem: how to reboot a PoE system. So, this switch. Let's now take a look at my setup briefly. So, this switch you have seen, cameras connected, then some cable, PoE extender, again cameras, UPS, NAS. We will get back to this again soon. As you can see, it's written Sadola, and this switch is connected into iSocket. So I can simply reboot it when it freezes with the up through the iSocket. So this way I covered both problems. When it freezes, reboot it. When the power fails, receive notifications. Let's go through the setup in details. So here is again my diagram. So Sadola PoE switch for the cameras. It connects to cameras around the garage and inside, but I also have remote cameras in another building. So I have 2 separate locations, and my goal was to have just one central backup point right here. And I also wanted one reboot point here as well. That's why I decided to extend PoE from this switch using a PoE extender, which connects to the remaining cameras. And let's go take a look. That is what it looks like, and yes guys, it's a kind of mess here, but if you subscribe and come later to my channel, you will see how I resolve this mess, what kind of rec solution, etc. I will have here. So we have this cable to the PoE extender, and we have couple cameras now, one sits here, yeah. If you think, by the way, that you can replace the extender with a PoE switch that has both PoE in and PoE out, oh, nope, you won't find a proper one that follows the correct standard. Try it. If you do, let me know in comments. But what you can do, you can have a second PoE switch here, the same like the one there in the garage, so, and they can be connected by uplinks. Okay, well, disconnected here, so they will be connected, and the switch here will serve local cameras. Yeah, but it would mean that I would also need a backup, second backup here. Okay, I have it. Well, okay. Then I would need a secondary socket. I have it, but don't look at this. It's for other purposes. So I don't want it. I want a single point of failure. Yeah. So a single point of backup, of reboot, a simple solution. Yeah, it is less secure. For some projects, it might not be suitable because there is only one reboot point for all cameras. So, but for my proof of concept, for monitoring snow, cats, and neighbors, it works fine. Plus, I also have a group of cameras that are not connected to this system. Cloud cameras. So, if something freezes, for example, the switch or some camera in this configuration, in this setup, I can restart everything at once. Here, all PoE cameras reboot. Here, by this eye socket, that will restart this PoE switch with everything. As I mentioned, it's not secure for some applications, but that's fine. This eye socket is placed after the UPS, so eventually it cannot notify when power fails there, because UPS will provide power to this eye socket. That's why I have another eye socket which is installed before the UPS. You can see this gray cable. When there is no power in this wall socket, I will get notifications. I can show you this also here. So I called it power to rec UPS. I can get notifications by text, voice, WhatsApp, email. And these two, yeah, this one I called power to Sudola flat UPS. Because eventually when the battery is flat, is empty, you will get notification by another eye socket. So basically you need two eye socket if you want to be notified when power fails before the UPS, the mains failure, and when the UPS is flat. Why another one eye socket with NAS? Well, this story in some of my future videos. Subscribe. I can, by the way, monitoring the whole power usage of this setup, and specifically we are talking about this setup, so I can see it here. Again, a lot of stuff. So look, PoE camera usage, just 30 watts. And I can also see, okay, we are talking about network storage somewhere later. The whole rack usage, this one including the lamp. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have yet separate socket, so it's plugged there. By the way, let's do the following. Yeah, you see the trick. Well guys, that's it actually. So let me know in comments how you handle PoE reboots and backup power in your setup, or do you use PoE at all? Thanks, bye.